So what's up guys, Foxen here, and yeah, only about 20 chapters or so left for Attack on Titan. With this video, I'm pretty much bringing back this pre-talk, prediction, casual discussion before the actual chapter drops. And you actually already got a taste with my chapter 111 discussion video. With this one, I'm once again going to be taking your questions from Twitter and Discord. But just a slight change before I get to that. This first half is where I actually have my prediction slash theory slash what I want to see. And definitely chime in. So at the end of the previous chapter, you saw Eren break out of jail. Oh sorry, that was 2 months ago. So yes, they have been infected by the wine. The question is, how many people? Right now it's looking only like the high-ranking officials, but how about Pixies? I know there's some people that think Pixies wasn't infected, just because Pixies keeps his own stash. Although in the previous chapter, or it might have been 110, very conveniently, Pixies wanted to go over and secure Historia. So yes, the question has come up whether Pixies has been marked by the Beast Titan. Did this old fella drink some of the Beast's juices? Also keep in mind it could be someone else's juices. The Beast Titan isn't the only Titan here. Next up, the issue about Gabby. What exactly is going to happen with this girl? Like I mentioned, I'm kind of disappointed that her storyline has been way too cliche and predictable. And I didn't even straight out hate her for killing Potato Girl, which I am missing Potato Girl right now. I'm actually starting to get the sense of why other people hate her, which is so much of her within these last 3 chapters. I mean, you all want to know what's going on with Eren, not freaking Gabby and Gabby's adventures. Next up, how about the Eren cult? Recently in the previous chapter, or the chapter before that actually, you got this powerful Eren breaking out of jail. Are we finally gonna get the combination of the WarHammer Attack Titan Founding Titan? There still is a question about whether Eren could use all of them at the same time, or is it a combo? Can Eren use the WarHammer Titan powers in his human form? That would be pretty interesting. And then you got Zeke and Levi playing patty cake in the woods. Right now, it really feels like everyone's hoping they all meet up in the Titan Forest and have this all-out brawl, which I actually wouldn't mind. Which brings me into my next point. Keep in mind that for a while, it has been pretty calm, more or less. It feels strangely familiar to how Isayama tells his story, especially with less than 20 chapters left. I mean, just think back to what happened with the WarHammer and Marley. You had this slow build-up, then BAM! WarHammer appears, which actually it was Eren that set the whole events off. So far we've been at calm, oh what did this happen, oh Gabby, we're back at calm. Could chapter 112 be the one where things start heating up again? Which might actually be what everyone's expecting, this whole fight in the Titan Forest. My only question about that is that if that's happening now, what is Isayama actually saving for the grand finale? Alright, so getting on to your questions, starting with the Discord questions. By the way, definitely consider supporting the channel on Patreon. One of the perks is this Discord server, where you could go ahead and chat with me or some of these other awesome people. So getting into the first question coming from T. Smith. Is Levi going to die this chapter, or will the Yeager boys get whooped? So yes, what everyone expecting is that Eren's heading towards the Titan Forest to meet up with Zeke. Of course, Levi Ackerman may not be too happy about that. As it stands now, it would be Levi and Ackerman versus the Beast Titan and this Tri-Titan. Levi is seemingly overpowered, but even this should be a challenge for him. I actually think that Levi may get contacted via radio, so it's not going to be like Eren arriving and it's going to be a surprise. And then it seems like almost everyone thinks that if Levi does face against Eren, he's gonna die 100%. So go ahead and pause the video and let me know your thoughts on this. Levi versus Eren's WarHammer Tri-Attack Titan. Who wins that battle? And I'm talking about a death match. The thing is, once again, it's seeming like that's way too predictable. Could Isayama be pulling a different story here? Watch, Eren Yeager pulls into the forest and Levi is actually on their side. I'm not placing money on that, but I think that has a decent chance of it happening. Next question out from TN Titans. Are we gonna see Keek again and find out what she's doing in Paradis Island? So yes, he found out in like the last 2 chapters that Keek is secretly undercover. In other words, what Eren pretty much did in Marley. I'm pretty curious to see how Isayama's gonna play this out. I've seen a lot of you comment that you want Keek to actually go and locate Annie. Because come on, Annie has to come out, less than 20 chapters left. Forget about the card Titan, I need to see the female Titan kick some ass. So right now I think there's 2 high possibilities. Either Keek is for some reason gonna go to the Titan Forest to find maybe the Beast Titan, that damn monkey traitor. Or option 2, she's gonna be scouting for information and perhaps somehow find Annie's crystal. I could actually see Keek running into Hitch, then due to Hitch, Keek finds Annie's crystal. although they still need to get the Jaws Titan over there. And better be careful, the Jaws Titan could one-hit KO her. Next question up from Mikey Fox. How do you think Marley's gonna attack Paradise? By sea? By air? Alright, so if you recall, Marley wanted to launch this whole onslaught attack versus the island, except that would be in 6 months. I think at this point going by sea would be way too risky. And now that Paradise Island is completely Titanless, might as well go ahead and use your freaking airplanes. I mean, that way you don't even have to worry about the walls. Anyway, now getting into the Twitter questions, and definitely be sure to follow. So first question up from Otako-san. How do you think Attack on Titan will end? Funny because Isayama actually already spoiled the ending. It's gonna be Eren holding his kid. Presumably. Some other people think it's Grisha holding little Eren. Either way, there you have it. If you haven't already seen the panel, definitely check my video on it. Next question from Anime Reaper. I know this has nothing to do with the manga, but will there be a new Attack on Titan game? Awesome, by the way. XD. I think that means penis. So yes, I think so far there's been 2 Attack on Titan games, at least on PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4, which I definitely haven't gotten a chance to play. If you play them, let me know if they're worth playing. So the first game was based on the first season, and the second game actually included the first game, then the second season stuff. The problem right now is that the third game will be based on the third season, part 1. In other words, a season without any Titans. They could easily do that, but I think some people would be disappointed. That's why I don't think they're going to release a third game until the second half of season 3, season 4 comes out. And hopefully with the third game they include stuff from the first game and second game. Then maybe I could finally get it. Next question from Mira. Do you think we'll have Ackermans versus Yeager battle? That would be lit. Fire! So at first glance this actually seems like a similar question, but it's slightly different. How about if it's the Beast Titan and Eren versus the 2 Ackermen, Mikasa and Levi? Wouldn't that actually be a little bit ironic? Weren't the Ackermen supposed to be the sword for the royal family? And now they're straight out going up against these guys. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that happen, but I think it would be way too obvious. How about if we get something like the opposite? The Beast Titan and Levi versus Eren and Mikasa. That would be interesting. Next question from Mikey. Foxen, what do you think will happen to Eren? So, talk about super vague question. I think Eren is gonna get a haircut before the end of the series. Also, I don't know why, but I think this guy's gonna gain even more abs too. It must be like 2 more extra abs per Titan you hold. Next question from Aurora Yeager. How do you think we will finally see Zeke and Eren meet? Or at least some more Zeke action? And do you want to see that? Alright, so like we've been discussing so far, Zeke may meet up with Eren in the Titan Forest. And I do actually want to see the Beast Titan in action. Since really, in my recent video about the Beast Titan, somebody brought something interesting up. How it seemed that Levi beat the Beast way too easily, even if he caught him by surprise. The thing is, you haven't actually seen the Beast Titan in action. The guy's always been from afar throwing stuff. I really wish the anime showed the Beast Titan versus the Armored Titan. That would have been a nice beatdown to see. So that's the type of fight I actually want to see. The Beast Titan going all out versus a different Titan. It could be Eren, the female Titan, Keek. Although I could just imagine Zeke grabbing Keek and then chucking her. It'd be like throwing a chihuahua. Next question from ZF Nerd. What do you think that Marley sent young warriors into Paradise if the Founding Titan could control them? The Founding Titan controlling the warriors? I think you might be mixing a few things up. So far from what you've seen, the Founding Titan cannot actually control Titan shifters. Only mindless Titans. So yeah, they wouldn't have a problem. Next question from Ender Slayer Boy. Do you think if Falco turns into a Titan, do you think Keek will take this chance to attack? I'm not really sure what Falco turning into a Titan does for Keek. Would that just be a distraction? I guess. It seems that Keek is a pretty smart character, I'm assuming. I could definitely see her using any opportunity to get some advantage. I mean, she's a friggin' card Titan, this time on the island without any armor. Next question from Infinity Storm Studios. Do you think Mikasa and Armin will fight Eren, or will they both not? Or maybe one will shift to Eren's side. Alright, so once again, a similar question but slightly different. Now the question is exactly what is Mikasa and Armin gonna do when they actually reach Eren? I mean, the dude's broken out of jail. Recall back that Armin has been bringing up the possibility of who could actually take Eren's Founding Titan power, and then Mikasa has started doubting Eren herself. So I think before the end of the series, we're definitely gonna see Eren versus Armin. The question then goes into what exactly is gonna happen with Mikasa. Will she stick with Armin or Eren? I think Mikasa is actually going to be debating it for a while longer, but eventually I do see Isayama putting Mikasa against Eren in some form, whether it's physical or just verbally. Next question from Carter Keek. What do you think Levi is going to do? I believe he might be working with Zeke and Eren until he gets his chance. So once again, almost a similar question but with a slight twist. I actually don't think that's a bad idea. Levi should be able to figure out that he's screwed versus a beast and whatever titans Eren has. At that point, Levi should be smart enough to at least buy in his time until later on. If Levi really isn't 100% on their side, he really should just wait it out and then find his opportunity to take them out. The only problem with that is that if that does happen, I think some of you will be disappointed. No Levi fight. Next question from Jay's WWE Asylum. I noticed all Titan shifters who've shown aging from Ymir's curse have been from royal blood, such as Zeke and Udi. Could this mean that the curse is only for Titan shifters with royal blood? Kinda like a double-edged sword for additional powers as a royal. So for this question, I would definitely suggest watching my video on the curse of Ymir. This is something I've gone over in the past. The curse of Ymir is definitely not exclusive to someone of royal blood. There's been so many cases like Kruger, Eren's father Grisha supposedly. Not to mention they've been doing this over at Marley for what, 100 years? I'm pretty sure they at least figured this part out. Potentially, it could actually be that the people from royal blood are the only ones that actually physically age on their last year. Next question from Mr. Pioneer. What is Zeke really up to? Is he truly allied to Eldia and his restoration? Why would he have all those military officials drink his spinal fluids? I feel like him and Kiyomi are up to something. I definitely don't trust her after the conversation with Willy Tybur in chapter 99. Ah yes, what is Zeke up to? Zeke up until this point has been a total mystery, like I went in depth on my recent video on him. I'm pretty sure that Zeke right now has his own agenda, which may or may not involve Kiyomi. Kiyomi right now seems like she only cares about the money. I actually do have a grand theory on Zeke's master plan, but you're actually gonna have to wait for that video. Next question from Backand. What do you think is gonna happen with Secret Agent Keek? But seriously, what? You know, screw it. What do you think is gonna happen with the rest of the warriors and Titan Falco? Okay, so someone else previously asked about Keek, so you could go back and see that. But about the rest of the warrior group, that's actually pretty interesting. So right now you really have the Armor Titan and Jaws Titan somewhere. I think the only certain thing is that both of them are definitely going to be dying before the end of the series. As to which one goes out first, I definitely see the Jaws Titan dying first. I think Reiner is going to suffer up until the very end. I mean, for this guy, he's either going to read Reiner, the Jaws Titan, maybe Annie? Keek too is possible, I guess. Although I really have a feeling that Isayama is going to turn him into a Titan, then this guy's going to be taken out. After that, who knows, maybe Reiner will go berserk. Next question from Chihuahua. Do you think this chapter will be Levi's last chapter, or will he switch to Eren and Zeke's side? So once again, a pretty similar question. The only new thing I'll add here is that I definitely don't think Levi's gonna die right now. If he does have this tragic death, I don't see it until the very end of the series. Next question from Billy Smith. Will we see Reiner and the others the next chapter? What is their master plan? And how will Armin, Mikasa, and the others stop Eren and his army? So about the warriors, I actually think Isayama's gonna hold them back a little bit longer. He's not gonna fully reveal them, but you may see them somewhere just navigating through the Paradis Island. As for their master plan, I mean there's several options. Go after Eren, go after Zeke, go after the female Titan, go after Queen Historia maybe? And how will Eren and his cult actually be stopped? Well, there's really only one way to actually stop Eren and his cult for good, which is to take them out. The question is whether Armin and Mikasa could do that. I mean, Armin could freaking transform and nuke the whole island. Or at least the Eren cult. I'm sure that would piss Eren the hell off. The next question from Ike. On a scale from 1 to yummy, how delicious do you think Eren will find Annie? I don't know, do you actually mean Eren eating her? Or Eren going down on her? Cause right now Annie's still on ice. Now if Eren actually tries to eat her, Annie should taste like one of those blonde brownies with strawberry jam in the middle. Next question up from J Messed Up Eye Face. First off, I love your videos. Thank you. I'm wondering, what do you think about the idea of Attack on Titan having two different endings? One sadder-like ending for the manga Isayama said he's thinking of going back to, and one happy ending for the anime where Eren and Mikasa become canon? I actually do see the anime having a slightly different ending from the manga, just cause you have more options available. But for doing something that drastic, I highly doubt it. Like Isayama mentioned before, he sees the anime as the final product. If the manga does have this tragic ending, then the anime is definitely going to have that too. I mean, if you actually do try to do two endings, it would feel like Isayama was trying to have his cake and eat it too. which is something I don't get the vibe from him doing. And if he actually were to do that, I think it would just cheapen both endings. Next question from Anders Stardex. Will the female Titan and Levi fight the Yeager brothers in the forest of Titan trees? So similar question, but I took it because of the female Titan mention. So trust me, I definitely want the female Titan to get out of that damn crystal. However, I don't see that actually happening before whatever goes down in the Titan forest. Next question from Max Cantopenis? I'm really wondering since the day I saw this, who do you think this guy is? Could that be Zeke's uncle, the Beast Titan previous holder? Or the one person that Isayama forgot/changed plans for? I will be so sad to think it is none. Okay, so the guy with glasses, if you actually go back in chapters I think 85 to 90, you see this guy so much. My best guess for this guy is that he's the previous Beast Titan holder. Or who knows, perhaps he's just like an uncle or something. Next question from Kodan Reagan 21. What do you think will happen to Gabby and Falco? Do you agree that the best decision for Falco is to be locked up deep with how Eren was? I also fear for Armin's safety as a Titan shifter if Zeke screams soon. Is it possible for Titan Falco to eat Armin? Okay, so quite a bit here. About Armin being in any danger? That would be surprising, but I highly doubt it. I mean, Armin's been here since the very beginning. It would be a shocker, but I just don't see Isayama taking him out like that. Not at this point. And whether Falco should be locked up? I mean, to be honest, anyone that's drank the freaking wine should be locked up on the other side of the freaking island. Go ahead and get some noise cancelling headphones and you'll be good. Next question from Jam Kaizen Ramos. I really love watching your videos, especially the theory ones. Thank you. When Isayama showed the last panel with a message that says, "You are free," does it mean that the Eldians could no longer turn into Titans? Inherit Titan abilities, as in the Ymir curse is finally broken. So I would definitely suggest watching my video on that final panel. The thing about the curse of Ymir finally being broken and this Titan curse gone from the world is a very popular idea. The thing is, that's actually leaning more towards the happy ending route. If that does happen, I could only imagine that Eren's gone, Armin's gone, and any other Titan shifter. In other words, the final survivor is only going to be Mikasa. Next question from King Sorrow. Let me ask you, do you think that Rhino will appear this chapter to save Falco? And is it possible we may get a first look at a bit of Levi versus Eren fight? Alright, so Rhino, I think he's gonna appear in this chapter, at least at the very end. However, I think his priority is finding Eren, not necessarily Falco. And about Eren versus Levi, once again, if that is happening, I think you would get a taste at the very end. Next question from Bonnie. What do you see Gabby doing after what happened? So after the recent events, hopefully Gabby finally got the propaganda slapped out of her. I mean, at this point, how many hits has she taken to the freaking face? So there's really three possibilities. Either Gabby finally figures out that she's been wrong, Gabby continues to question what exactly she believes, or the third option is that Gabby still is anti-Eldian. Next question from Kneeble Notice. How do you feel about the story for Shingeki no Kyojin getting so complex? Because everything Isayama is doing at this point is setting up something huge. Maybe too huge. I hope he could handle all of this. So yes, Nemo brings up something pretty interesting about how complex and layered the story is getting and has been getting. Although to be honest, it's not too different from what Isayama set up in the Uprising arc. I mean, we just had the arc simplified for the anime version. Although now it does seem that things are getting even more complex by the chapter. I think Isayama of course wants to end this on something extremely huge. The question is, what exactly will that be? I think either way, it really doesn't matter what Attack on Titan ends on. Whether it's something huge, something small, something complex, people are gonna judge the hell out of it. And I'm pretty sure not everyone's gonna be happy about the ending. Next question from the Raymond. Good afternoon, Foxen. How do you think the chapter will start? I think Hanji will spread the news to General Pixies about the spinal fluid. Hopefully we see Eren this chapter. At this point, Hanji and the scout should definitely inform everyone about the wine. Like I said, get everyone that drank the wine and move them to the other side of the freaking island. Put them deep underground, and just not next to Annie. It would be pretty interesting if they actually start the chapter with Eren already at the Titan Forest. I got a feeling that Levi, Zeke, and Eren are gonna have a very interesting conversation. Next question from Christian. Would you rather be as skilled as Levi with the 3D maneuver gear or be a Titan shifter? So it's one of those questions that I haven't thought about too much. But I mean, being a Titan shifter, you're gonna die after 13 years. Then the other option you're giving me is being as skilled as Levi. I'm definitely gonna go with that. Next question from Frankie. Is it true that multiple people drank Zeke's spinal fluids from the alcohol, like Pixies, Hanji, or Falco? When do you think Zeke will activate it? So yes, everyone's talking about the wine. I think naturally Zeke is gonna wait until the very right moment to actually do it. But how about this? How about if it's not actually Zeke's spinal fluids? What if the wine has actually been tainted by Eren? That would be an interesting twist. And final question from Simon Dole. Here's a thought, I'd like your opinion on it. What if Eren defeats Levi? Could Mikasa take Eren down, or at least make him see what he's doing is wrong? I love your videos on YouTube. Thank you for that. So once again, the hot topic of Eren versus Levi. For this question, it actually really depends on whether Eren kills Levi or just defeats him. I mean, if Eren takes out Levi, Mikasa really doesn't have a chance. I mean, it seems that Eren might be too far gone at this point. Eren is the attack titan, he has to keep on moving forward. Anyway, that wraps up this pretty long discussion prediction host video. Go ahead and post your own theories and predictions for the next chapter. Do you want to get another taste of Eren's abs? And do you think, like most people here, that Eren will be facing off against Levi? Who's gonna win? Is Levi gonna die? And also post your thoughts down below on this more casual format. I do want to continue doing it. Hopefully there's enough interest going forward. Anyway, let's continue chatting in the comments and I'll see you guys later.